following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. Well, it is a race that was supposed to be ran last week, but unfortunately, some things got in the way, like DDoSing and other things like that. So after what was supposed to be a week off, it's now 2 weeks that we've had off as we return back to the USORL Track and Turf Truck Series season from Bristol Motor Speedway virtually on iRacing. It is race number 5 of this regular season. We are ready to go from the last great Coliseum. As you see the sun slowly setting. And we get ready for 150 laps of racing. Could be good, could be rough. We'll have to see. It's Bristol. That's all we know. And we're going to have some fun coming up here in just a couple minutes. I'm the captain. We hope you've had a great, so far, week and Thursday. we get ready for the weekend. I got confused because I'm so used to working a Tuesday to Saturday schedule anymore that I thought it was Wednesday for a second. But anyways, we're ready to go, and I got some great racing in store. Let's take a look at the points before we go into qualifying. Of course, the way the league is set up in their race sessions, it's a little backwards, so to say, compared to what we're used to. So qualifying is going to come up before we really get into this pre-race show. Eric Sable, of course, 3 out of 4 wins. Andrew Hennessy, last time on track in New Hampshire, broke the streak and put himself in victory lane. He is their third in points. Of course, Darren Ingram's in between them, both having a great season so far with 4 starts and 4 top 10s in his campaign. Blake Viken and Luke Smith, your top 5 as we enter the 5th race here of the season. Still got plenty of racing to go as we pull up the schedule. Of course, this is with the modifications now that you see on the schedule. You see that big blank right there where off week July 4th is? You'll notice now there's another off week in there because of what happened last week. So Bristol Motor Speedway this week, and then next week our final broadcast here on the Captain Esports Network, now at Atlanta Motor Speedway instead of Phoenix, before they'll go the rest of the way, the final 4 races before the regular season ends. Playoffs will start, and crowning a champion coming up on October 10th later on this season at Nashville Super Speedway. So getting ready to go here, the NCM Asbestos 150, and as best as I can tell, this could be a very interesting race when it's over with. So qualifying about to begin right now, so let's head down to the track and let's see who's going to start on pole for this 150 lap race here momentarily. Of course, qualifying laps are going to go quickly. Fast time in practice 14.5, so that just shows you they are hauling all types of truck around this track. And it looks like Eric Sable is actually going to be the first one out there as we go down here to the 23 truck. And let's see what kind of lap he can put up here. It's going to be pretty quickly, as I said here, as these guys lay down times. You see the purple there on Sable as he comes by for 14.7. That's for Merzlach as Sable goes to a 66, a 68 for Smith. And just like that, Sable done with his second lap's going to be faster, I believe. 65 for that second lap. Good lap for him. Here's Noah Joyce in a 31 and going to go for a little spin. There's Hennessy jumps to the pole with a 55. Good lap for him. Andrew carrying that momentum from New Hampshire no matter how long ago it was. Kyle Lovall crossing the line here. Sean Gus on track in the Prime 81 truck, and he's going to be 12th, it looks like, after his lap. Kerry Rogers jumps up there to 5th. Here's the Rabid Retro Gaming number 21. Correcting myself from, by the way, the New Hampshire race. Based out of Fort Worth, Texas, is this gaming company where you can check out retro games and stuff. As Dewey Schramm jumps up to 15th right now. Sisk to 19th. And up to 4th goes Garrett Sidnor. Good lap on his part in his 34. Let's see what he can do on lap number 2. As he will stay 4th with a 14.67. And Hennessy still at the top right now. Is Darren Ingram going to come out on track, it looks like. Let's ride with the driver of the 54, P2 at points. All that rubber on track just from the practice laps as he goes P19, 15 flat on lap 1. Let's see if he can pick it up a little bit here in lap 2. He's in the green, so he's faster through 3 and 4. Can he stay in the green? As he does pick it up to 12th, 14.75. As, let's see, Jason Christian now on track. So another guy. Still got almost 2 minutes here left before we get to the warm-up session. So you got 4 trucks that have not ran a qualifying lap, 3 of them counting who's going to race here in this race as Christian crosses the line. He is 15th with a 14.83. Rolls through 3 and 4. Good corner right there. Very tricky corner. As that should jump him up a little bit, I think. Nope, he's going to hold steady. 14.82. Adam Hoagland, the 99 truck. A little loose right there. We're going to lose a lot of speed. Might even kill a second lap just because of how much momentum he lost there. 24th for that first lap, 15:47. Decides to go to the bottom. For lap number 2, a little free off. That's very easy to do at this track as he crosses the line, jumps to 21st, 15:18. So unless anybody else jumps out here on track, we are looking at, will John Peterson run a lap? He's thinking about it. He's the only one left. And he's going around time. 15 seconds left. So Andrew Hennessy will win the pole award, of course, here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So congratulations to him. Let's pull him up into chat here. Of course, he's been very fast and very consistent here throughout the season in this USORL Track and Turf Truck Series. As he continues to battle, he and Eric Sable have been the two guys pretty much to beat so far this season. And I think you're going to see more of the same here coming up in this evening's race. As give me a second, I'm just pulling up something really quickly over here. And as you see, the trucks are going to start to roll out for their practice session. And for Hennessy, it's going to be a second pole of the season. So congratulations to him as these guys roll out. And let's go down here and talk to the pole sitter, who's probably going to be on track as we talk to him here. Andrew is hanging out somewhere. He actually might not be in his chat, so never mind. I guess I won't be talking to him. But anyways, congratulations to Andrew on getting the pole here this evening. But we got some other drivers, of course, we can talk to. And let's see, Darren's got it muted, but I'm going to see if I can still get him up here into the booth. And let's see if he can pick me up here. He's got his mic muted. Darren, you got a copy?
Yes, I got
there
you.
He
I'm
is.
clear.
All right, buddy. Well, obviously, a good start to the season for you so far. 4 top 10 finishes and 4 races. Of course, New Hampshire 2 weeks ago was interesting, and tonight could be more of the same. I think the track's going to gain some grip as concrete's one of the more sensitive products when it comes to racing as the lights start to come on. Can we make it 5 for 5?
I hope so. I sure hope so. I mean, we're not too far off. I felt like I left a little bit out there at the table in qualifying. I erred on the side of caution, so definitely want to get a lap in and just be in the front half of the field. Hopefully avoid some of the carnage. Bristol's always a crazy one, so yeah. So I think we can. I've got the speed for it. It's just going to be about staying out of trouble.
How much is track position going to play a role here tonight and keeping that over tires?
I think it's going to be big, especially because of how tricky it was to get around here in practice. I think people will hopefully at least be come off that edge a little bit. So once we kind of get sorted out, I'm hoping that just you having track position is going to make it a lot easier to keep it, just because people won't be able to go that extra little inch over the line and risk spinning out here, which is very easy to do here.
All right, man. Well, hey, best of luck. We'll let you go get some laps in, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Looking to become the 3rd winner this season, Darren Ingram. Congratulations to him so far in his great start to the season. And we'll hand him down to team room number 7 as he gets ready for his race here this evening. And let's get Garrett. Let's bring Garrett up here and have a quick word with him as we get ready for this race coming up here in a couple minutes. Garrett, get a copy, bud?
I do got you.
All right, my man. Well, obviously good qualifying effort for you in that 34 truck. Been consistent, been fast. How do we make this a victory tonight at Bristol?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got to put a kind of a complete night together first, but yeah, I think we do have a pretty good truck here tonight. Definitely top 5 speed. But yeah, like you said, just to get a victory lane. I mean, the 2 trucks that have been real fast all season, you got to get by that 94 and the 23. Those 2 are lightning fast. So we'll do the best we can with our front line forward and see where it goes.
Obviously, P2 in practice, so you got to be feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, still a lot of work to do, though. I got to get through this first little bit, see how we are as a field, seeing if it's going to be more caution-driven or if we can get a run in and get it in the rhythm.
All right, bud. Well, hey, best of luck and congratulations so far.
Alrighty, thank you.
Absolutely. Garrett Sidnor, the second fastest in practice. Top 10 start here tonight. Looking to break into victory lane here this evening. We'll move him down to his channel and get ready to go racing here momentarily. I believe that was his channel. All right, got about 30 seconds to go, so let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, anthem is all done, and we are ready to go racing here in a little less than 4 minutes or so. We should get warm-up complete and get this race here underway. Again, for those just joining us, take a look at the point standings as we enter this evening's race. Sable with the lead right now over Darren Ingram, who's 40 points back. Of course, Sable won the first 3 events this season. And, of course, Andrew Hennessy jumped into victory lane at New Hampshire last week, holding off Sable. They have been the power 2. And if you heard the interview with Darren a few minutes ago, you heard him talk about what he needs to do to get up there and battle with those guys. See Blake Veekin there in the 4th position, Luke Smith there, and there's Sidnor in the 6th position. Unfortunately fell back after a little bit of a rough run, and he even talked a little bit about putting an entire race together is something he wants to work on. So hopefully he'll be able to pull that off here tonight. Hey, something else I kind of brought up to you guys, I believe, here the last couple of weeks when we've been broadcasting, had the opportunity to go check out a very cool place in the downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana area, of course, where I live now, and a area that you can enjoy some great sim racing at. If you happen to be driving through the area, maybe going to Eldora, which is only about an hour and a half from here, to the south and east on your way through, stop by MC Racing, and you can do some sim racing right there on a pretty daggum good simulator or 2. There's some great programming there and so much more, some great racing, and you can bring your friend or family member that's maybe never done the whole sim racing thing before and let them try it out and see what they feel. And you never know, they might be the next iRacer for you, but it all starts there. MC Racing, downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana. Appreciate what Mark has done there. Might be checking us out here tonight. I know he's got a pretty busy schedule downtown right now, as there's a big festival, the annual event that goes on in Fort Wayne. There's like a fair right just to the north of him there. So hopefully he's been getting a lot of good simulator racers in there. I know there's a couple that actually go in there each week and sim race on iRacing, doing some short track racing. So you can do the same. Go to MC Racing there in downtown if you ever come through the Fort Wayne area. hey, make sure you guys share out the stream to everybody. Get your friends, get your family in here tonight. I think we're in line for a pretty good race. One thing I always explain about Bristol is, yes, are we going to have cautions? Likely. And I mean, very likely. Is that going to make this race a bad race? No. Because Bristol's different. As you see, it's high bank, it's short track, it's multi-groove. It is exciting. And if you've never watched a sim race here at Bristol, let's just put it like this. Yes, the High Line is the fastest way to go, but you are going to see trucks all over the place. You're going to see tire wear. You're going to see strategy. And one other thing you're going to see, and if you look very closely, you will notice that both sides of pit road are being used. And that is because we have over 24 cars in this race. So you're going to see the whole entire front stretch pits being used. And then there's going to be a couple, I think about 4 or 5 trucks in the end, that will have to use the backstretch pits. And this is the old layout for the pit road. So you will enter and exit on one side or the other, depending on which pit road you use. So under caution, obviously, as the leaders come to pit road, there could be some trucks on the backstretch pits that might end up losing positions. So we'll have to try to keep track of that tonight if we get caution pit stops. If not, otherwise, should be pretty close to going all the way on fuel at this track. Matter of fact, if you look up at the top of the screen, you can see 3 or 4 pit boxes right there. The green color, the red color there. Those are the couple of guys that are going to have backstretch pits. We'll point those out as we go through the starting lineup. But for the viewers watching, appreciate you guys hanging out. And I would love to hear your opinion right now of what you think the race is going to look like. I see a couple people have already excited to be here tonight. A couple's mentioning that this could be interesting. And we'll just have to see when it's all said and done here this evening. But I do appreciate everybody for coming out. Should be getting to grid here right now. So let's go trackside. Check out the starting lineup here for the Track and Turf Truck Series from USORL. The NCM Asbestos 150. As Andrew Hennessy going to win the pole. William Page jumped up in there and will start in the outside pole in that Long John Silver's number 42 truck. Eric Sable, Garrett Sidnor, row 2. Luke Smith and Kerry Rogers, row number 3. Row 4, Austin Hakes and Blake Veakin. Stephen Merzlak and Michael Murata in row number 5. Row 6, Cam Barnes, Darren Ingram. As you get down into this part of the grid, this is where you kind of see the action. Davey Hendricks, Noah Joyce in row 7. Row 8, Jason Christian and Kyle Laval. Sean Gus and Dewey Schramm the 3rd. Davey Hazard, who apparently had a race 1 here last season and decided to go down the wrong pit road. And needless to say, he didn't win that race. And Hen Bordeaux in the 20th position. Adam Hoagland and Kendorian Davis. Ricky Sisk Jr. and Joseph Weaver in row number 12. As Sisk, it looks like, will start the race on pit road. Zach Krastowski and Austin Spencer in row number 13. John Peterson going to be the 27th starter. Jay Tway was here for the practice session and will not run the race this evening. 150 laps around this a little over half-mile oval. 76 degrees. That's going to cool down. Obviously, humidity is kind of high. Got some clouds up there in the sky. Otherwise, it'll be a pretty fun night for a night race at Bristol, per se. And as I remind you, make sure you do subscribe to the Captain Esports Network on YouTube, as they will get the 1 lap to go this time by. Of course, a track less than a mile long, which means they get 2 laps of pacing before they take the green flag as they pass the start-finish line. Appreciate Jesse Witten, J34 Ever, Gray, D7H5, R2D2, of course, watching on the stream. As these guys one last time roll down the backstretch. And, of course, this is one of the more anticipated races. It's a Bristol race. It's one that very easy to get angry, get frustrated at when things happen. But in the end, one person will be happy when their truck goes to victory lane here this evening as the pace car pulls off and into the hands of the flagman as Hennessy leads them to the green with William Page from Bristol. Of course, our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. as Sisk will leave pit road. And lap 1 in the books, Hennessy picking up where he left off at New Hampshire. Right down the bottom right now as they get the track kind of worn in a little bit, get the tires warmed up. And already Sable putting some pressure on. He's gone to the top side here. That is the faster way around this track. But also a way to get that right rear tire heated up. Now Hennessy goes up there to start playing defense a little bit. Meanwhile, one car has gone around, Blake Veekin. And he's going to get hit by the 99 there. And caution number 1 comes out. And the Safe Light windshield mobile has spun her out turn 3 and 4. And let's see what happens. At 39 there to his inside. And you know what? Something I've been seeing a lot in practice as 28 gets collected in that wreck of Austin Hakes. And that one thing I've been seeing is a lot of trucks going into the corner loose. Almost got to back the corner up here and let the truck get set. Otherwise, been seeing the back end just kind of swing around. And that's exactly what we saw here. Let's actually go to the crash cam. Doing pretty good here, and then I just drove it in a little deep. You see the back end just kind of swap ends right there. Not hard contact until he gets to right here, where the 99 knocks the front end off of it. All right, so he'll come to pit road. And we're already getting ready to go 1 to green. As pace laps go very quickly here, already 7 laps in. Track built back in 1960 was its first race, and believe it or not, and you can look it up, it actually was a caution-free race in 1960. That first race ever ran here. And of course, it's been through multiple different layouts and all asphalt track at one point. They got to the point where they decided to make it all concrete. First night race was ran all the way back in, oh gosh, I can't remember the year now off the top of my head. It was like 1980 something, I believe. And then, of course, they did the banking change back in the mid-2000s, where they decided to lower the banking down from 36 to 28 degrees and make it progressive banking, which is what we got today. Of course, they tried the dirt. They've held a football game here. I've heard rumors of a baseball game potentially coming here one day. Heck, give it time. I'm sure WrestleMania will find a way here. I haven't heard anything about that before anybody jumps on that one. It was just a thought. All right, Hennessy and Sable going to lead them back to the green flag. One thing you might catch out of these drivers tonight is them starting in 3rd gear. That's one thing about this track. You can start in 2nd, but if you want to limit the wheel spin later on in the run, 3rd gear. Not a bad gear to start in. As there's the 9 is Steven Merzlack. Chasing the 39, Luke Smith, Austin Hakes there with him. A lot of shuffling going on through the field. There's Michael Murata. As he falls back, you see the 5 going by of Cal Lovall, Davey Hendricks, who apparently, according to Thomas S. in chat tonight, thinks he's going to have a good truck tonight. We'll have to see. 18 of Condorian Davis right there. He ran the 3rd there in that 6 truck. Jump up here is William Page, falling back from his outside starting spot on the pole. As Luke Smith goes by for the 6th position, there's the 9 of Merzak moving to 7th, clearing himself. Very hard to do at this track like that. One thing that will play a role in this race as we go longer into the run. Say if we get to another 20, 30 laps or so, if we get all green flag racing here, I think you're going to start to see this tire strategies come into play. When do you come to pit road? When do you not? As trouble, as of course I had to speak about it, Davey Hazard is spun on the pit road. Joseph Weaver has spun around in turn 3 and 4. And once again, a missing nose. Let's see what happened here. 13 gets a little loose above Davey over there. He was able to hold on to the truck as they worked their way to the corner. We have our second loose truck on entry. Sure do. 55 just goes around, knocks the 2 down the pit road. Oh, and Ricky Sis Jr. with the hello. Very hard to do is stop your truck here. Somebody could spin from half a track ahead and you'll hit them here because it's so quickly from one side of the track to the other. You see the 55's already spinning. Ricky still can't see him until now. Very tricky and very tough. The caution comes out. You'll see a lot of the trucks stay out here, probably still not really had a lot, enough green flag laps, I should say, to come to pit road at this point to put on a set of tires. Obviously want to preserve those a little bit. But one thing you might also want to preserve is your feet and your hands. And where am I going with that? Is 4D Racewear. Your chance to get yourself some shoes while you're iRacing or playing any kind of simulator, or also getting some gloves for your hands. You got a wheel with a lot of driving force and yeah, likes to fight your hands basically, because I can't think of the term off the top of my head. Force feedback, there's the words I'm looking for. Make sure you check out 4dracewear.com, get yourself some gloves, some shoes, and you can really feel like an authentic racer right there as you are running on iRacing, a set of Corsa, whatever you like to race. Make sure you check out 4dracewear.com for details. Force feedback. That's what I was thinking of. I've read stories about people actually getting blisters on their hands from iRacing, from, you know, obviously having a wheel that can create that kind of thing. So having some gloves, if you've got pedals like mine that aren't necessarily metal, but they're not plastic either, it could feel kind of weird on your feet. As a matter of fact, plenty of times I've felt my foot itching while I'm racing, and I literally have used my pedal as a scratch. So, a good time to get some shoes. Don't want to scratch your feet unless you absolutely have to. All right, coming back to the green, Andrew Hennessy leading Sable, just like New Hampshire all over again. Kerry Rogers, Garrett Sitnor, and Luke Smith, your top 5. Hakes are in that Outlier Speed Company number 28 truck. 34 there in front of him was Sid Norton, and that 36 of Kerry Rogers looking pretty good. These top 2 start to drive away a little bit here. Austin Spencer there in that 13 truck, the Tillamook Creamery. There in the 18th position as he battles with the 02 of Jason Christian, who's down there running that bottom. 99 getting a little loose, and Viken gets into him a little bit as Joseph Weaver comes to pit road. It almost seems like that you almost have to back up the corner. You cannot send it in there deep into the corner. The back end just gets upset. Like there's not enough downforce on the rear. Loose on entry probably creates a little snug in the middle. And of course, you put too much wheel coming out, and you get even more problems as Joseph Weaver comes out of pit road. So did Adam Hagland, who's on pit road now. So, not sure if there was a potential accident there that happened and didn't bring the yellow out because he spun to pit road. Let's see if that's exactly what the case is here. Well, 55 just hangs a left and comes to pit road. So, and you know what? They do have a reset here to use. So I wonder if he blew a motor. Something I did forget to explain. They do have resets to use in this league. One, to be specific, is the 99 comes to pit road now. As battle for third, Kerry Rogers and Luke Smith side by side into turn 3 and 4. You see the 9 of Merzlach. Guy given plenty of room. And one thing about this track, I just started to notice, you're going to see some lap traffic really quickly here. It's obviously got some trucks off the pace. Running laps around here, 14, 15 seconds. You're going to catch trucks really quickly. Christian continues to fall back to 24th. 0.2 of a second lead right now for Hennessy. As Sis comes to pit road. Check out Cam Barnes as Blake Viken tries to get around him. That 7 car almost catching the wall there a little bit. Davey Hazard at 2. Just coming off a spin. A couple of these trucks having some issues early in this race. See, the longer you go into a run, it gets tougher and tougher to pass on the bottom. But you can see the truck's getting loose. And I think part of that loose is they're carrying too much speed or too much wheel through the center. Oh, and around goes to 51. I think the 7 might have got him. If so, very slight contact to the rear. A little 360 by the 51 brings out the caution. John Peterson with issues. He's jumped to pit road. And before we show you the replay, here we go. Leaders are in. This will be a great opportunity to show you guys the pit road situation here. see everybody on the front stretch pits, and look at you got the 4 trucks on the back stretch pits. Race off pit road, I think, went to Hennessy. But look how these guys are just getting to their pit stall. And here comes these guys leaving the pits pretty much at full speed. So they'll be able to pass right by these guys. And that's where the disadvantage comes into play for those on the backstretch, because they got to stay behind the pace car all the way to their pit stall pretty much, where the rest of these guys can full speed back up here. And that's kind of why they made the one pit road years ago at Bristol, because it never was an advantage for the backstretch pits. You had a terrible disadvantage. So a couple trucks did stay out. Cam Barnes, Davey Hazard, Zach Krastowski, Sean Gus. Those 4 trucks have stayed out here. And Gus is actually going to bring that prime drink number 81 to pit road. And appreciate all the viewers hanging out here this evening. If you're having a good time, hit that subscribe button. We'll get some of the shorts out this weekend from this week's racing. 3 races this week, and we'll be back at it next week again. Another 3 races on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. And then once we get past the 1st of August is when the action's really going to get back going here on the Captain Esports Network. We'll do a couple of races that last week of July, and then actually take the rest of the week off and go out of town. And then come back on that Sunday, which is August 4th or 5th or something like that. And from that point forward, you are going to see racing almost every night here again on the Captain Esports Network, with some changes in the schedule. The only nights you won't see racing will be Friday and Saturday nights, as those will be my 2 nights off now. But something tells me there's going to be some football going on at that moment, because yes, there's a college football game sitting over to my, well, it's not sitting there like a game, but it's a downloaded game into my system. So going to see some sims of that a lot here in the future. As Barnes, Hazard, Krastowski, top 3 trucks stay out as we go back green, as you see Hennessy and that 94 truck get a good restart. This is where you're going to see tires come into play with the strategy. You got to be very careful here. As Hennessy has moved to the lead, Sable's gone to 2nd. And Barnes and Hazard 3rd and 4th. There's the 39. That's Smith trying to get around. If I'm to 7 into 2, I'm putting myself up in that top groove. And you're going to pass me, or passing me on the bottom. Or you can just double yourselves up and hold up the field. That'll work too. Top 2 guys, as you see right there on the screen, are gone. Smith drops it to the bottom on Hazard. He clears them. Tip your cap and move on. And he sure does. He will pass him. Here's Sidnor to the inside. Austin Hakes there with him. Yeah, you're going to eat some crow here for a little bit, but you know what? You're going to have fresh tires waiting on you when you decide to come to the pit road and these guys stay out. And that's what makes this racing even more fun at Bristol, when you get stuff like that going on. Strategies left and right. As 42 gets a little loose, a little check up there. He's into the wall a little bit. As Paige going to keep her straight. But unfortunately, a little bit of nose damage. I didn't get to see who the middle truck was there, but that was a little bit of a fast food sandwich. A Long John Silver's truck in the front, Burger King car in the back, and now caution is out. As for a 3rd time tonight, Blake Viken, he is probably not a fan of Bristol right now. Let's see what happens in the 51, and we'll see if some of these other trucks come to pit road that stayed out. The 2 or 3 that did. It's a little loose off turn 2. Into 3 or 4. Just loses the back end. So Barnes, Hazard, and Page all coming to pit road here. So those who trying to turn a strategy on to the other guys here, they have come to pit road now. Let's I want to go back to the save by Page. And right there you see never mind, it wasn't really a sandwich, but the Excite car getting into the Burger King car, and you saw the Long John's car going around. Let's talk to the driver of the 7 and see what he has to say here. As Cam, you got a copy? Cam might have stepped away. Just making sure my mic's working in Discord. It looks like it is. Cam, you got a copy?
I got you.
There he is. Cam Barnes, obviously in the 7 car, just trying to flip the strategy around a little bit, doing something a little different. Obviously, just hanging on for the ride. How's the truck here so far?
It's awful. It's not fun. It's tight in all the wrong places and loose in all the wrong places. So, really, it's just trying to save a set for when we have a green-white checkered at the end. So, no, it's really bad. I'm not enjoying this really. So. Pitted there to get some fuel in it just because I had a feeling we were going to run more cautions, and then everybody decided to pit on the next one, so that was kind of shocked me. So now me and Davey here, I have 2 sets left, brand new set now. See what we can do, get back up there. I definitely think I got a top 10 truck, that's it. Nothing more special than that. So anything higher than that will be a miracle tonight, and if I continue with a, limited incident points would be a miracle as well. So yeah, hopefully the race is better on the broadcast than it is feeling like driving.
We're making it fun. We're making it fun.
All
so,
right.
Well, hopefully keep you out up there, keep fighting, and hopefully we'll talk later on.
All right, see you later.
You too. Not holding back, is he? Cam Barnes, appreciate his time as we come back to the green here, lap 56. Sometimes just being honest is the way to go. Oh man, I love Bristol in the trucks. That's just me though, but obviously a lot of things have changed too with the era and stuff like that. So anyways, Hennessy and Sable once again pull away. Is Sidnor, Davey Hendricks, that 44 truck starting to work his way up. Somebody made that call a little bit ago saying he would be fast. He's got that 9 of Merzlach looking real good. Look at that topside roll. So basically what a lot of these guys are feeling, from what I'm understanding, is obviously they're getting loose on entry. You saw a couple cautions from the entrance into the corner. And then what's happening is the front wheels are gripping. And it's causing the truck to push or to be a little more neutral or tight in the center of the corner, right? Well, what happens when you're tight or you're neutral is you have to turn the wheel more, which then brings your back end back around, coming off of the corner and spins you out or something of the sort. Just like you're seeing with the 5 right now is going to go around. Love all. Right on cue. As Dewey Schramm unfortunately gets caught up in it. right, caution out again. Let's watch the replay. Let's see if we go on board with the 5 here. See if I can talk it through here, and we'll see if that's exactly what we're seeing. Obviously, watch the red tape here. Goes into the corner. He goes, not bad. Pretty neutral there. It just comes around on him. So you know what? Maybe it's not so much what I was talking about, but let's, I mean, that's what it looks like. Let's look at one other angle here. You know, there's something I do happen to catch a lot, and it doesn't happen here at Bristol a lot. It's more of, you see Schramm coming in there and hitting. You see it more at Iowa. You see it more at maybe Homestead. But let's look very closely here. We're going to break this down a little bit more. Let's go back and watch Cal's line. Because I always try to look for little things when I broadcast a race, and here's what I'm catching. Let's watch. Okay, so if you look really closely at, I wish I had a teleprompter or something I could show you this. There is a seam. Okay, if you look at the truck in front here, the 36 of Kerry Rogers, you're going to see this little black line that pretty much runs right up to the tail of the truck, where the Ford emblem is there on the rear with the tailgate and stuff. That right there is a seam. And remember, this track has progressive banking, which means that the higher banking is up here at the top than the middle. I wonder if the trucks are getting loose on the transition. That black line goes all the way around the track. You see the other one right here where its nose is. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I wonder if that's what's caused some of the wrecks here. Could it be the transition of the corners? The de-wedging, as I like to show. And one of these days, I'm going to get back on the sim. I haven't done it in a while. And I'll have to pull a video up and show everyone what like de-wedging is and how it works with the progressive banking and stuff. But I wonder if that's what's causing some of these wrecks. And Dalton does bring up a good point in chat. Tyler Dalton, that is, saying that, yeah, there's the update on the trucks with the less downforce and stuff, so that could easily be playing a role here, which would really help with backing up the corners with that proof of that. So, yeah, that could easily be a valid point here. You know, with less downforce, the only way you can drive it into the corner is by backing up the corner. Because obviously you got less air pushing down on the rear of the car, or truck in this case. Way you can back up a truck that's not with downforce is slow it down. As we go back green with Hennessy again leading. That just picked up where he left off at New Hampshire 2 weeks ago. He and Sable have been the two dominant trucks throughout the season. As we watch Hendricks going to climb up to the third position, should be able to clear to 34 right there. Almost some contact there mid-pack, but it looks like everything's okay. Luke Smith up to the fourth position as he battles with Sidner. And you might ask, will that help the truck when it gets dark here? Not really. I mean, 36! Spins her around, Kerry Rogers. Caution out again. Another solo spin. Let's watch it again. correct. Does a great job locking it down. Backs it into the inside wall. So, of course, the question would be then, and Tyler, obviously, and anybody else wants to get involved in the conversation here, feel free to, but how do you not carry too much speed on an oval? Great question. And the only thing you can do, as I said, is slow the truck down a little bit more. And even when you feel like that you're at speed, you got to be careful how much you throttle it, because what happens then, you're on the brakes going into the corner here, which puts the front into the ground, right? Well, when you gas it, it puts all the weight back on the rear of the car. So you just got to be careful with the transition of the weight to the back of the truck. So you just kind of ease into the throttle, let it roll through the corner, and then not be carrying the speed coming off as much. It's tricky because these trucks have ton of drag and downforce in them. Not like they did before, but still, we got a pretty good amount. So as soon as you let off the gas in these things, it's like, just think of when you're driving down the road behind a semi on the highway and you pull out in the air, and all of a sudden it just feels like you hit a gust of wind and it slows your car down. Think of it like that. All right, so you got one to go next time by here still. Just coming to the halfway point already. And again, next week going to be the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new edition. So we'll have some super speedway hybrid racing next week. Our final broadcast on Thursday nights here in the USORL before we move on to our Thursday series that'll return starting on the 8th of August. But a big shout out to Davey for reaching out. I know I haven't really been able to help much, but I got 4 or 5 races in, depending on off dates and so on and so forth, been able to do, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know these guys. They're fun to talk to off the track, and hopefully we'll be able to do some more stuff down the road. But let's do well, we're under caution here. I remember he said he was going to update this, so let's take a peek up here at the truck of the 94. He's been adding emblems the whole entire time here. We got Bob the Builder upside down, Paul Blart, Mall Cop, Queen Elizabeth, and he told me who this was going to be. I cannot remember who this is. Need David to get closer. Oh, man. Ace truck pulls off. Here we go. Can Sable finally get him? He does not yet. He got a good restart here, though. Can he get to his right rear and get the top side? Nope. Andrew's doing a great job getting to the center of the corner. Merzlak having a great run here in this 9 truck. One of the cooler schemes I always remember watching back in the 2000s into the late 90s when Jeff Burton would run this Exide paint scheme with the white, black, and purple on it. You'd go watch a night race or something with it. It was pretty cool. As here's Cam Barnes, said he was just trying to survive. Was very frustrated with the way the track was driving, and there he's in the 11th position now behind Kendorian Davis, ahead of the 42 of William Page, who's trying to come back after a rough restart a few minutes ago. As up front, Sable's going for it. He had the lead for a split second, wasn't able to clear him. Oh, Hazard has gone around. Gets it back going, going to keep it green as he stayed off the track. I made a comment a second ago about having great TV, and he spins. You trying to make it better TV? What are we doing here? Tough break there in all seriousness for the two as he gets back rolling. Unfortunately, going to lose a lap now. 24th position for him. As he's pulled away now by about 0.2 of a second. Sidnor and then I'm battled out. There's Barnes and Davis, as I mentioned. Page right there. Barnes kind of getting caught up behind Davey. He gives him a little bump. Says, hey, come on, man. Put her in gear. He's kind of settled out for a split second. Let's jump back up here to the 5th because we got a little fight here with Sidnor, Hakes, and Merzlak. 5th, 6th, and 7th. See how fast they're going around this track. That's like a perfect camera right there for you feel the sensation, especially on the backstretch here. Watch how they turn off a turn 2 and it looks like they just go hauling it down the back here. It's one of the rare tracks. I think I've let the secret out a few times when I race. I don't use force feedback because I've just not ever been used to it. But even still, running a 500 lap Bristol race will wear your arms out, especially with a long green run. So I can only imagine those with force feedback. I feel terrible for you. I understand. As Barnes continues to get around, try to get around Davis. Hennessy is pulled away up front, about 0.6 of a second over Sable. Luke Smith still 3rd with Davey Hendricks 4th. And then you've got that battle right up ahead there as you're seeing from the windshield of Barnes as he continues to battle with Davis. You've got the Sidnor and Hakes battle for 5th. Going to be coming up to 50 laps to go, and I think we're at a point now in this race where I think a caution comes out here in the near future. You're coming to pit road to get tires. Of course, you heard Barnes talk about earlier having an extra set for overtime. He feels like this race is heading that way. But here the last few minutes, seems like things have cleaned up a little bit. Or maybe just getting the feel, or maybe that grip is coming in as the lights are on. Officially under the lights, and I talked about concrete being one of the more sensitive surfaces, a lot more sensitive than asphalt. So you wonder if maybe there's some grip in the track now. Let's go back here to the 26 of N Bordeaux and Zach Krastowski and Cal Lovall, Sean Gus, 20th. Around the top 20 or so, these guys here. You see the leaders have caught them. And you see Hennessy coming into the picture right there. Joseph Weaver comes to pit road. You see Hennessy putting Gus a lap down, running that bottom side, pulling away a little bit from Sable. Up to 1.3 seconds now. Anything in that bottom side work? As Austin Spencer has gone around. Back straightaway, no caution yet. He got her up to speed before anybody can get close enough to him to trigger the yellow. So Spencer keeps going in the 13 truck, going to lose a lot of track position. As Hakes looks inside of Sidnor for 5th. Close. They move Austin up to the 5th position, so a great job on his part. I want to check back here on Darren Ingram, 14th position for the 54. Been involved in a couple accidents tonight, but he is looking for another top 10 finish. If he can do so, it'd be his 5th one in 5 races. And that's why he's up there in the top 3 in points. He and Sable and Hennessy have been the guys. Battle for 4th is Hakes to the inside. And he's going to clear Hendricks. So a big shout out to Track and Turf for sponsoring this series, and also to NCM Asbestos for sponsoring the 150 lapper here at Bristol tonight. Next week will be the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. I say newer now. As these trucks will draft and see some hybrid super speedway racing. At about 9 o'clock or so, we'll be live and ready to go. Up, caution. And it is for Cam Barnes, who has unfortunately spun. He has just talked about keeping that truck clean and being very frustrated, trying to get to the finish. He has spun and brought the caution out. Looks like he was able to stay on the lead lap. I don't see any damage on the 7. But Barnes going to make this very interesting now for the leaders. I think you'll see all the leaders come to pit road here and take tires. And you just see the back end. I kind of saw it there in the last in 3 and 4 goes. Oh, nice job by the 42. And everybody to miss him. Very impressive. Looks like Kyle Lovell going to stay out as to race off pit road. Goes to Hennessy again, outrunning Sable. And it looks like Lovell is now on pit road as he was one of those on the backstretch pits, it looks like. No, he's on the front stretch pits. A lot of pit stalls right there. Never mind. Well, he comes back in for... tires and fuel now. The question is, how far is too far now? You got 32 laps to go, and we're going to go green with probably 30 or 31. You still got, as I'm counting them, roughly 17 trucks on the lead lap, maybe 18. You know, you get a caution with like 10 laps to go, you might not have a chance to run those new tires. Should get one to go this time by. The one thing Hennessy's been able to do for the most part tonight on Sable is control that restart lane down at the bottom, not allowing Sable to get to his door on the outside lane going into 1 and 2. And we'll see if he can pull it off again here as we come to the green flag. And we're going to give you the opportunity to enjoy the sounds of Bristol in the trucks as we're going to turn it up as we go green here at lap 120. As a wadded up off turn 4. Caution back out, one car. One truck got loose. And unfortunately, everybody come piling in. Then you got fenders bouncing around over here like they're on a trampoline. And it looks like it was Steven Merzlak that spun out. And this one taking a lot of cars with them. Let's take a look at the replay here. As Merzlak just kind of running out here on his own. Bottom lane there got a little free at the 31 behind him. Yeah, you can see him already loose on entry. He's trying to hold on. And unfortunately, it's going to roll him back down the track. Had to go to the list, and here comes the pile. That's a Bristol wreck right there. And Dorian Davis, heavy damage. And the one thing you had to make a note of again, look how far up ahead the 9 is. You don't even see, I can't even find him on the screen. Right there, you see him getting sideways. He's down to the screen right now. And then you see the 26 of Bordeaux jumps on it, and Davey gets involved, the 36. Add Dewey Schramm in there. I mean, check up. Carnage with 25 laps to go. Let's check with check with Luke Smith here for a second. Luke, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, dude. Been up there in the top 5 most of this race here in that Mountain Dew 39 truck, and obviously it's looking kind of familiar here. The 94 and 23 battling out there up ahead. Is there anything you got for them, or is this one of those where you're the best of the rest, or how we feeling here?
I mean, I feel good. I don't know how much I'll have for them, but on that last restart, I may have figured something out. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have good speed. I don't know if I have the speed to hang with them, but I'm definitely going to go after them.
Did you figure out the truck has 4 gears?
I think I found a 5th gear.
Oh, look out now. All right, buddy. Well, hey, all jokes aside, best of luck.
Thank you.
You too. As Luke Smith getting ready to go green. And I believe he was down in that room too. Someone sent him down there where everybody else has been hanging out. As pace truck lights are going to go off. Obviously, I don't know what he found, but yeah, might have found something groove-wise. We'll have to see if I notice anything here as we go green. Austin Hakes there in the 4th position behind Hennessy and Sable. Of course, the one thing Smith has to do is get clear of that 28 if he's going to have a chance. And he does clear him off 4. Side by side for the lead. Sable knows he's running out of chances, and now he's got the preferred groove. Can Hennessy hold that truck at the bottom? Oh, he almost had him cleared right there. Oh, caution back out. And it might be Dewey, unfortunately. There's 3 and 4. They're behind the 81 truck. Oh, and that truck goes sailing. Spins it back up and does a great job of locking it down. There was nobody around him. He wasn't the caution because they're still green. We'll find it. Oh, right there. Merzlach goes around. There's your yellow. 360 and carries on. A little pirouette, or pillow, whatever it's called. The spinning move. Pirouette. There we go. Gets to a point where I get tired and I can't talk much anymore. Not that I can talk on a normal day. So is this the caution? I don't see anybody on pit road, so this must not have been the caution to get those trucks on pit road. I see Viken on pit road and Sean Gus, but only Bleakin out of those 2 are on the lead lap, so I hope everybody's enjoyed the broadcast so far and the racing here. Of course, we've had our share of cautions, which it's expected at Bristol. It's totally okay. But it's been some great side-by-side racing, some good battles for the lead. We might not be done yet. Still got 15 laps to go. Has anybody got anything for the top 2? And has Sable got anything for Hennessy? as pace truck lights still on. Thought we were about to go green there for a second. But Noah Joyce up there in the 5th position, doing a good job in the 31 truck. Of course, he had some issues in qualifying, but he's battled his way up from his 14th starting position. Darren Ingram in the 8th. Barnes, after spinning out a little bit ago, back up into the top 10. A lot of people working their way up as we get ready to go green. Pace car back in. And 13 laps to go. Here we go. Good start for Hennessy. You see the 28 of Hakes trying to get clear of Smith. Smith trying to clear him. He said he felt like he might have something for the leaders. Problem is he's got to be able to use the whole track to get there. Hakes is going to try to clear for 3rd. And he does clear him. As Hennessy just ran the fastest lap of the race, 14:64, as the caution comes out. And unfortunately, Blake Viken is going to want to get out of Bristol. Let's see what happens to the 51. And once again, back in comes around, locks it down. He's probably cussing up a storm in his truck, unfortunately. As here's Cam Barnes coming to pit road for tires. He talked about doing something different here. Let the strategy begin. He's the only one on pit road, but he's going to put that last set of tires on and see if he can get anything. So there he goes, leaving the pits, so he'll be the only one. I say that as Zach Krastowski's on pit road. There's the backstretch pits for us. We got 1, 2 boards. That's it. 2 boards right here. 3 boards maybe. So these poor guys out here on an island, unfortunately. Of course, nowadays at Bristol, it's all one pit road, which I still wish that they would find a way to just take out the backstretch wall and shift pit road to like a U shape. Kind of like you do at Martinsville. Just let them pit off turn 3, bring them around the wall there all the way around to turn 1 and 2 instead of using the backstretch pits. But I don't know the geometries of this track, so it's probably easier said than done. All right, going to be 5 laps to go. Can we get back to the checkered? Or will we see overtime? All right, 1 to go this time by. Here's the boat claw number 94. United Reynolds Bennett, number 23 truck there on the outside lane. Luke Smith there on that inside with Austin Hakes. Sidnor and Hendricks back there side by side. These two have raced each other clean throughout the season as they've continued to dominate. Hennessy looking to get that second win in a row as he gets it through 3 and 4 here. Should enter the Geico restart zone here right about now. As there he goes. Good restart for Sable this time as he gets to his right rear right there. Three to go as Sable actually led that lap. And Sable's going to clear him for now. Oh, and Hennessy's going to get loose. Smith up to second. Hennessy's in the wall. Oh, and he gets clobbered as the white flag gets taken. Eric Sable gonna steal one and get his 4th win. Hakes ends up 2nd. Luke Smith 3rd. And a wild ending here at Bristol. Hennessy ends up finishing 16th after that. Let's go back to that last lap, and that definitely got pretty wild there. Bam, he gets in the wall. I didn't see if there was contact there. Let's back this up a little more. Yeah, there was no contact. Hakes was doing his inside, fighting him, and it looks like Andrew once again gets loose right there. Into the wall hard. Keeps it up in the wall. And not sure if he's trying to work his way down, but unfortunately 36 tags him. Gets out of the way as the leaders come through. And you see the 9 car go spinning back there. As Bristol finish ends really wild when we're all done here is Sable wins it over Hakes by 9/10 of a second. Finishing 2nd there is Austin. Luke 3rd. Luke Smith, that is. Garrett Sidnor 4th. And Davey Hendricks top 5. Noah Joyce 6th. William Page 7th. There's Ingram. Another top 10 for him. And Cal Oval finishing 9th. Karen Dorian Davis 10th. Jason Christian 11th. Zach Krastowski finishing 12th. Michael Marotta 13th. Steven Merzlak, Cam Barger, top 15 finishers in the race. 16th goes to the Hennessy truck. Davey Hazard 17th. Sean Gus, Hen Bordeaux, and Kerry Rogers 20th. Joseph Weaver 21st. Austin Spencer 22nd. Blake Veekin 23rd. Huey Schramm to 3rd, 24th. And Adam Hoagland, your top 25. The rest of the drivers, Ricky 6th and John Peterson 26th and 27th in the race. We had our share of cautions tonight, but still an entertaining race. Let's talk to the 39 truck, who gets a top 3 finish here this evening. Of course, Luke kind of breaking down what happened as we get him up here in the booth. Luke, obviously a good third place finish as you're able to bring it home clean. I know you're wanting to get around Austin there to get that second position to maybe have a chance for the win in this race, but just fell up a little short.
Yeah, I sent her a little too hard into 3 and 4, and it just sailed out on me. Or else I probably would have had him. I was trying to get too much, and don't know why I tried to do it, but you know, half the time when you're racing, you have no idea why you do some things, and then I just sent it a little too hard and got really loose.
Obviously, tonight was a very tough race because you had the less downforce now on these trucks that make them kind of a hassle to drive in the corners, and kind of caught you guys out there a little bit and made it very tough.
Yeah, these, I mean, I haven't, since they did the new aero package, I haven't raced on these trucks in the new aero package, and it's a lot different than I remember, but definitely the dynamic track helped out there towards the end where I was able to roll the bottom a little bit better. Early on in the race, I could not get that truck on the bottom or else it would have just looped around.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations, and send some shout-outs.
Thank you. I'd like to shout you out first off for putting on a good broadcast. I'd like to shout out Cam Barnes Racing Enterprises. Me and Cam, I know Cam didn't get the result he wanted. He got in an accident on the last restart. And I'd also really like to shout out John Peterson for making this beautiful paint scheme. He makes a whole bunch of my paint schemes, and they're all beautiful.
Well, great job tonight, and we'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You too, buddy. Luke Smith finishing in the third position here tonight. Now 39 truck. Good top 3 run for him. And Austin Hakes, obviously his best run of the season, getting himself a top 2 finish here tonight. Austin, obviously, you and Luke put on some great battles there. You worked your way up through the field after starting in 5th. Actually starting in the 7th position. And you're able to work your way up there to 2nd, falling up just short, but still a great effort.
Yeah, I had a pretty solid race compared to the rest of the season so far. So we really needed that one. But otherwise, just kind of chilled out all race. I thought on that we had a decent run there in the middle, and I was pretty quick. I was like, wow, I found some speed compared to practice.
Right.
So and then racing Luke there, I noticed he was better than me at times, and then I was better at him at times. I just noticed he was getting loose there the couple to go, and I still think he brought it home 3rd, right? So yeah, I don't know. That was a crazy finish.
Yeah, obviously the battling there, obviously the cautions, the changes in the truck, of course, running to Bristol for the first time. Obviously a lot of learning to do, especially as you transition in the nighttime.
Yeah, I think all race long I tried to run the bottom as much as I could, and it was working there probably early on to the middle of the race, and then as it got more worn in and stuff, it stopped working at the end basically. So starting on the bottom, I was like, uh-oh, this might not be good, but luckily it all played out. But yeah, you just had to kind of search around, and then ultimately the top was the fastest. So.
Well, great job tonight. Send some shout-outs over like too.
Yeah, just I'd like to shout you out. You do a great job. We all appreciate everything you do for the broadcast and our league, and you're a great guy. Also, Outlier Speedco, they're a big family to me, so appreciate them.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As Austin Hakes finishing 2nd position here tonight. Well earned on his part. And obviously keeping it consistent there. As he finishes 2nd, as Sable gets his 4th win here. And it was not an easy one for Eric here tonight, as he did not get to lead many laps. He did not dominate, as he's done plenty of times as I've watched. But, man, you put on a fight with Andrew, and talk about what what different you had to do there on that last restart, because it looked like at one point as you entered turn one, we were actually watching from the rear chase cam when you took the restart. It looked like you almost had a bad angle entering turn one, but somehow you were able to carry the speed off that corner to stay at his side.
I didn't hear anything. I think we got disconnected there for a minute.
That's not good. Well, let's try this again. Obviously, the restart there, the last one, what did you change? One, if anything, but two, it looked like going into 1 and 2 from the rear chase cam, we saw it looked like you almost had a bad angle entering the corner at first and had to adjust, but still able to carry the corner off.
Yeah, I was pushing, a few restarts ago. I got side by side with Andrew because I had nothing for him all night long. He just had the speed. He can, keep that grip on the low side and stay ahead of me. I had nothing for him. I even messaged him, on a caution. I'm like, hey, Andrew, I got nothing for you. On the long run, I was wrecking loose there. We had that little bit of a run. But yeah, that final restart, I'm like, the only way I'm going to get Andrew is if I did a good start, and I did. And I just drove it as hard as I could in that 1 and 2 to stay on his right side quarter panel, because if I have that high side, I knew I was going to win this thing, and I did, and he got loose. We came out on top tonight, so hell yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed like he was able to carry the speed more into the corner on most of those restarts and just get that advantage on you, and made it very tough from that point. But man, to get 4 wins in the first 5 races here and to win one at Bristol that way, it's got to be pretty exciting, as I can hear.
Oh my God, that was awesome. I was so happy. I got past him, and I couldn't believe it. There was no way if Andrew was like you said, going into 1 and 2 on them restarts, his truck just stuck right to that concrete. I couldn't do it. No matter what I did, I tried multiple different ways, and I just could not get the grip and the rotation for the truck to turn. So to come out on top, get that high line moving, that final restart, come out here and win this thing. It was fantastic, and have 4 wins. I'm probably even more hated than I was before, but you know what? We're going after that championship this season and try to come out on top.
Since when have you ever cared how people feel?
I don't.
Attaboy. Hey, how much was clean air important when it comes to those restarts? Was that helping him a lot?
I would say probably. I mean, I couldn't do anything when I was behind him. I couldn't get up to him. So it had to have been the clean air, because I only felt it for like 2 laps. So that
Right.
clean air had to do something with it. So I would say it played a big factor like it usually does.
Well, great job, man. Welcome back to Victory Lane at Bristol. Send some shout-outs.
Captain Esports Network do a fantastic job doing these broadcasts week in and week out. Snyder Graphics, United Reynolds Ford F-150, fantastic all night long. Hopefully try to do another one next week.
There you go. Great job tonight, and yeah, it's Atlanta next week, so best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Absolutely, you too. Eric Sable, the winner tonight here, and gets his 4th win in 5 starts, so he's got to be pretty proud. And he's pretty pumped up, I must say. He's happy about that one. I know there's been a lot of times I've watched him win races, and just the same old interview, but that one you can just hear the excitement in his voice to win it the way he did tonight there. Good for him, and unfortunate break there for Andrew, not able to pull it off here tonight, and he definitely earned the win. Eric did tonight, and Andrew should, I know he's going to be mad, but keep his head up, hopefully, as he definitely had the truck to beat tonight when it's all said and done. But as we know in racing, the best one doesn't always win. So, man, what a race it was. Congratulations to everybody. Obviously, there were cautions, but it's Bristol. There's going to be cautions. If you didn't expect cautions tonight, then you must be new on iRacing or something. But it's just the way it goes. So, appreciate Track and Turf for sponsoring the Truck Series as always. NCM Asbestos for sponsoring 150 laps here tonight. Big shout out to Davey Hazard for allowing me to broadcast this evening. We have one last one to go before I move on to another Thursday situation, and that's coming up next Thursday, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we'll do some drafting and super speedway racing in the trucks coming up around 9 o'clock Eastern time. Next Thursday night. Hopefully we'll see you then as we get ready to wrap up the month of July already and go into August. So it should be a lot of fun. But next broadcast for us will be Sunday night. Looking forward to everybody joining us. What's the track? I think we're at Richmond. So it should be a lot of fun there. From that short tracks, 2 straight short track races. How about that? So enjoy the rest of your weekend. And for you football fans, enjoy college football. those who haven't gotten the game early. Enjoy it tomorrow and into the weekend. So it should be a lot of fun. Always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.